Did they have anybody working on their computers, you say?
Yeah, yeah.
No,
No.
no. Detroit had their own IT team that
Okay.
consisted of 3 employees that were walking around doing the exact same thing that I was.
Okay. All right. So, in assisting the poll workers, what were you expected to do?
So the mail-in ballots, when they're ran through the tabulating machine, um, they they get jammed a lot. I'd say 4 to 5 times in an hour each. The ballots are handed to the counters in stacks of 50, and they're referred to as a batch. So when they're handed the batch, they, they have to make sure that they're, take your paperwork and,
Neat and tidy. Yeah.
yeah, and or it won't go through the tabulating machine. And they also cannot have any kind of like, when you pull a piece of paper from a notebook and it has the fringes on the side, it can't have any of that, or it won't go through. Um, a lot of reasons why they wouldn't go through. Something spilled on it,
Sure.
something like that. Yeah.
All right. How long were you there working before you saw something that gave you pause, that made you think something's not right?
I was there about 2 hours working before I noticed that there was some major problems.
All right. Well, and what were those problems?
Um, well, you want me to start with?
Yeah, we can go right through. Yeah.
Well, okay, we'll start with the first problem that I did notice. The first problem I noticed was the like I said, the ballots are handed to the counters in stacks of 50, referred to as a batch.
Mm-hmm.
When the counters get the batch, they set it on the tabulating machine, which really they call it a scanner.
Mm-hmm.
They just don't refer to it as a tabulator. That's just how they refer to it.
Sure.
So the tabulator will take the ballots, pick them up, and scan through them,
Mm-hmm.
and the ones that are already that are being tabulated will go on the top of the machine, and then the ones on the bottom, are pulling through.
Sure.
Okay, so we're going to use ballot number 25 as the problem ballot,
Okay.
just as an example. Okay.
So the middle of the stack.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So if ballot number 25 had, say, wine spilled on it,
Mm-hmm.
and a stain from it, the computer would throw up an error that says, ballot number 25, error, it'll say discard or rescan. So the proper way to go about this is to take ballot number 25, pull it out slowly, because it would get jammed if there was a problem with it too.
Mm-hmm.
So I would tell them, the worker, to pull it out slowly, make sure you don't rip it. Take ballot number 25 and the 24 ballots that were already tabulated on top of the tabulator,
Mm-hmm.
and put them all back in a stack of 50. Put ballot number 25 on top and discard, hit discard, and then rescan, right?
Okay, so it's a fresh scan. That first 24 that you scanned, it's like you didn't even scan it.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. So, and the reason for taking the problem ballot and putting it on top is just to save time, because, if that ballot doesn't go through again, it's going to be on the very top.
And you'll find out right away.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, I walked past one of the counters, and his machine had a number. So there's going to be a number on the left-hand side of the machine, on the left-hand side of their computer sitting in front of them. That's going to show a total number of ballots that were tabulated on that tabulator, which could be any number. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Then on the right-hand side, there's going to be a number that should never go over 50 because the batches come in 50.
Sure.
Well, his number was in the 500s.
Oh, wow.
So I said, stop, stop. Don't even touch anything. I'll be right back. I have to go grab my manager because this is a big problem.
Mm-hmm.
What that meant was that every ballot that he had in that batch of 50 had been scanned 8 to 10 times.
Right.
Counted 8 to 10 times.
Okay. So those ballots were duplicated 8 to 10 times, which resulted in far more votes than were actually taken in.
Absolutely. And that was one person that I saw their number.
Yeah.
Now, this happened countless times because I don't think I told you this. I started work at 6 a.m. and I worked a 24-hour shift.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I was there for the day shift and the night shift. And then I went home to get some sleep, returned at 10 a.m. and worked till 2 p.m. And then I was done on the 4th.
And just to interject, how many people were running these tabulators?
So about approximately 40.
40. Okay, so this could have happened a lot.
Oh, it happened. It happened. I couldn't even tell you how many times it happened.
Too many to count.
It happened. When I was walking, I confronted my manager. My manager came over. I can say my manager's name. I don't work for the company.
Sure. I mean, if it's publicly available information, then yeah, that's
It is. His name is Nick.
Okay.
And he's also a co-owner of the company of Dominion Voting.
Oh.
And yeah.
Okay.
And
what did he tell you to do?
He pulled. So I brought him over and I said, Nick. I said, we have a huge problem here, and he said, Melissa, can I talk to you over here for a second? And he pulled me aside. And he said, the last thing I want to hear is that we have a huge problem. He goes, and we are here to assist with IT. We are not here to run their election.
Holy